Hello and good morning. This is early, at least it is here in El Paso, Texas. So hello, beautiful soul. How are you doing this fine day, afternoon, or evening? Today, in this moment, there is so much going on in the world around us. And what I'm being guided to share with you today is something that may seem a little unusual, and yet it falls right into line with the Facebook Live video we did yesterday, which was, are you hiding or are you showing up? So, what are you allowing to define you? What experiences? What is... it goes hand in hand with are you hiding or are you showing up? And so let's kind of piggyback off of that from yesterday's Facebook Live. And if you didn't have a chance to watch it, please do. And so here we go. Collecting our thoughts, because I'm never really sure what we're going to be sharing with you until we actually do it. I just follow guidance from my own angels, and here we are. When we experience hurt, heartbreak, failure, things that don't work out, disappointments, frustrations, or even betrayal, do you allow the negative side of things to define you? Or do you see it for what it is? Meaning, sometimes a cold is just a cold. Sometimes a stumble is just a stumble. Sometimes things just don't work because maybe your heart wasn't really into it, or you were chasing after something rather than flowing with it. Hello, Deborah. And what defines you is what you choose. It's almost like creating your own reality. It is something more about the way you show up for yourself. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Sarah Jane. And you can allow the past or the shadow self, and this is maybe a little bit farther out in the woo-woo or spiritual side of things, and yet for those of us, and you, beautiful soul, who are on your spiritual path in any form or in any way, you now know, and have for quite some time, that bringing into yourself as a whole person the shadows and the negativity along with the light and the positivity is very important. It's essential. And it's not really about encouraging or inviting or attracting the negativity. It is about accepting that other dark side that we don't like to talk about, that we don't want to own, or even pretend that it has never happened. When you bring that into your wholeness, you actually experience more light and healing. So the wholeness, the whole part of you, your complete self, is what defines you. The parameters, you get to choose. You get to choose new boundaries. You get to choose new thoughts and beliefs that then become truths. As you practice what you want your life to be like, as you practice those positive things and you actually take action, and sometimes it's about letting go of what's not working. Transition can be messy, and apparently we're touching on a few different ideas or paradigms this morning, and that's fine. So the positive things can define you, the successes, and what you choose is more relevant than what you let go of. And yet, when you let go of people, places, things, experiences, failures, stumbles, energy walls, resistance, dark nights of the soul, whatever you want to call it, all of the above and more, when you let go, and when you let go of the outcome of what it is you're doing, where it is you're going, and how you're going to get there. Allow your vision of your life purpose to define you. Allow your compassionate heart to define you, rather than what people have said or might say, what people have done or haven't done, what you have or haven't said. What are you allowing to define you? Because what defines you puts you in a box. Now that box can be either expansive or restrictive. Are you wanting to expand spiritually, your business, your client base? Are you wanting to get out from behind of the shadows of what you used to be yesterday, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago? That person no longer exists. That person is a part of you. But if you stay in the past, if you stay stuck on what happened or what didn't happen, then the past is what defines you. Are you going to allow that to stop you? And not just from moving forward, but are you going to allow that to stop you from being who you really are, which is a spiritual being having, excuse me, a human experience? And yes, this is a little bit on left field for some people, and that's the way it is today. Because when you connect to angels and universal energy, that's pretty much out there in some ways. And yet, when you step out of the spiritual closet and into yourself, whether or not you ever speak these things out loud it's important, but it's not as important as being able to simply step into who you are, regardless of what else is happening around you. Now, that doesn't mean to ignore, deny, or pretend that things are not happening that are not to your liking, that may be less than ideal. It is about seeing them, recognizing them, and then choosing to look past it, see through the situation. Where is it you're really going? Is this really, really, really an incredibly huge obstacle? Or is this just a little hiccup along the way? Good morning, Karen. Is this a hiccup? Is it just a tiny course correction or a tweak? What are you allowing to define you? Good morning, Margaret. Who are you allowing to define you? Are you defining you? Or is the past of what people say you are, could do, couldn't do, shouldn't do, you know, all the shoulda, woulda, coulda stuff? Are you allowing others to define you? Are you allowing the past to define you, or are you opening yourself up to the truth of who you are, what you came here to do, and shedding, shedding, you know, letting go, like a dog or a cat sheds their coat? Are you shedding the skin that never really fit you in the first place? What defines you? What defines you, beautiful soul? What actually defines you? And this is not the hard lines of, It's not about painting a box or creating one. It is about, that's a good idea, thank you, breathing. It's about allowing you to grow and move, to course correct, to tweak, to fine tune as you move along the way. Every person has an opportunity to redefine, to remodel, to upgrade, up-level, uplift themselves. So be like the creatures that shed the old skin because it's become too tight, old, or brittle, and grow a new one. Grow a new one. So, how are you defining yourself? And if you're defining yourself in the ways that you don't like, how can you define yourself in a different way so that it gives you room to breathe? Share with me in the comments about how you are defining yourself in this moment. How I used to define myself was not being good enough, not deserving, hiding the fact that I not only connect to angels and universal energy, I actually talk to them and they talk to me. It may not be exactly the same way that you and I are speaking right now. I guess right now it's really a one-sided conversation. But if we were face to face, we would be speaking physically. So talking to angels and universal energy is different, and yet I'm in a constant conversation unless I take a time out. So, stepping into your value, accepting who you are, claiming your good, not arrogance, not I'm better than anybody else kind of attitude, you know your stuff, don't stink. Not that. Are you allowing you, your truth, your soul to define you? If you're not sure how to do that, hello, Leanne, then take a few moments, settle yourself, ground, meditation, pray, whatever it is, journal. Call in the angels and tap into universal source, universal energy, to help you figure out how you have been defining yourself and how you'd like to redefine yourself. And remember, this is a living, breathing definition, so it can change. Because, beautiful soul, you are not the same as you were yesterday, the day before, 10 days, 10 weeks, months, or even 10 years ago. Lord knows I'm not. This is the Angel Lady. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy. Please do share this video. And please do comment, add your 2 cents, your 25 cents worth. I care. I read and respond to everyone. And how do you define yourself? And get real. Go below the surface. Not just, well, I like being positive and helping other people, and that helps me define myself. Okay, that's a good start. But it's really kind of vague. So, how do you define yourself? Or how have you allowed others to define you up until this point? Let's go with that for now. Because once you are able to name it, and I don't want to say claim it, but name it and identify it, then you can go about the next steps to redefining and creating a new definition. Bye-bye for now. This is the Angel Lady, and thank you.